especially during this pandemic moment, the OFW Council of Leaders humbly steps up to the challenge. We therefore responded to the call of the moment in solidarity with our government and in the service of our fellow OFWs. This is the true essence of Bayanihan to Hail as One. That is why I was thinking it would certainly be great if we could jointly sign on this historically the terms of reference of this program as proposed by the OFW Council of Leaders. It will lend credence to what we are embarking into now. It will also document our historic response to this pandemic challenge of the 21st century. In closing, I would like to highlight the importance of the mind which you will soon endeavor to protect. One's thoughts carry enormous power as it will determine one's destiny. This makes your mission tremendously significant and profound. And I am confident with your dedication to serve you, you will collectively deliver, and as a team, you will succeed. For a new role as warriors of the mind, may I share with you these thoughts from Mr. Cohen. What's your thoughts, or they become words? What's your words, or they become actions? What's your actions, or they become habits? What's your habits, or they will become your character? And what's your character, for it will become your destiny. Thank you at mabuhay kayong lahat.
Thank you, sir. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce to us our guest speaker, may we call the Social Welfare Attaché to introduce our guest of honor.
Our guest speaker today is no other than our Honorable Consul General. We asked him for a special message because this is one initiative that we want to lay down, you want to lay down as a partner organization seeking technical assistance from the DSWD, and of course, as the father of our consulate, we have to hear the words guidance, receive maybe our inspiration for this, because it's such a challenging work that we wanted to pursue together. And we just hope that everything will be doable in terms of the challenge that we wanted to pursue. Okay, thank you. And now let's welcome our friend.
Thank you, Ma'am Anna. Thank you very much for that very short introduction. Good morning, everyone. Let me begin by acknowledging the presence of OCL Director General Benny Legaspi and the other officials of OCL who are also with us here tonight. Of course, and we also acknowledge and thank Ms. Anna Oida, our Social Welfare Attaché, for organizing this historic event, as mentioned by Benny. Marami akong gustong sabihin sa inyo, but let me begin by making some announcements, some plug, if you will, tungkol sa ating ginagawa sa before I forget, because I know that you are all social influencers, and with your help, you can at least convey whatever information I'm going to share with you to other members of the Filipino community. If you will recall, last night we had another installment of our digital diplomacy series, wherein we talked about pag-ibig, SSS, and a video remit products and services. But in between, I mentioned about some services on the Philippine Consulate, including our passport renewal. Kasi ang dami pa rin nagtatanong, meron pa po bang appointment na kailangan para magpa-renew ng passport? Let me again repeat it today para po ma-share nyo sa ating mga kababayan. Wala nang kailangan na appointment to renew your passport or to apply for document processing or to report the birth or marriage of somebody in your family. You walk in, come to the consulate anytime between 8 and 5, from Sunday to Thursday. No need for an appointment. Somebody are saying, why are you able to do that in Jeddah? Why not Riyadh? Bakit sa Riyadh napakahirap kumuha ng appointment? Please do not compare our embassy and the consulate. Our embassy is located in the diplomatic quarters. Our consulate is located in a commercial area. Therefore, since we are in a commercial area, we can do whatever we want to do in going about, in performing our duties and responsibilities for as long as we do not disturb the peace. So we can allow people to just come and go to the consulate every day. But in Riyadh, they cannot do that because they are in a diplomatic quarter. This is an official address really dedicated just for embassies. It's not just the Philippine embassy in that area. You have other embassies. The Philippine embassy, in front of the Philippine embassy, I think is the Australian embassy. Beside it is the Canadian embassy and many other embassies. Ang dami po. So hindi pwedeng papuntahin lahat ng mga Pilipino doon kasi madidisturbo yung mga ibang embassies. Baka mangyari pa nga magtayo na ng tindahan ulit. Ibang kababayan natin sa harap ng Australian embassy, scandal sila. Hindi pwede. So that's the simple explanation. Second, passport renewal, hindi na po natin ginagawa dito sa Philippine Consulate location, current location. Of course, yung passport releasing is now being done at the office of VFS Global in Al Mohammedia. Now, maraming nagre-reklamo, napakalayo po ng Al Mohammedia, nahihirapan pumunta yung ibang kababayan natin. You know, distance is relative. It depends on where you're coming from. In fact, I was at Al Mohammedia 2 days ago to inspect the premises, and somebody told me, I was waiting at the waiting area, and she said, Konjen, ang ganda po ng lugar, napakalapit po. Very convenient. So, that defeats the argument that the place is too far. Because if you're talking about distance, it's relative as to where you're coming from. Right? So as far as we're concerned, distance is not really an argument versus having our passport releasing at VFS Global. Third and last, pretty soon, we will be offering another alternative, another option for Filipinos where they can renew their passport. Hindi na lang po dyan sa atin sa Jeddah, current location, kundi pati na rin sa VFS Global. So you will now have another option. If you want to renew at the VFS Global, then you go there. If you want to continue availing yourself of the service of the Philippine Consulate in its current location, you can also do so. And finally, before I forget, very important, yung ongoing repatriation po natin na ginagawa ng Philippine government or sponsored by Saudi employers. In short, kapag repatriation sponsored by the Philippine government, it's free. Walang bayad. Yung mga naniningil na mga tao, sumbong nyo sa amin. Kahit tiga-consulate yan, kahit tiga-labor yan, you report them to us so that we can prosecute these people. Because it's free. They're taking advantage of our distressed Filipinos. Hirap na nga. Sisingilin pa ng 5,000, ng 6,000 para makasakay sa repatriation flight. That's so unfair. Diba? That's so evil. Kawawa na yung Pilipino, pinapahirapan mo. Sisingilin mo. And we know of some people who are doing that. And we are warning these people to be careful because next time you do it again, you will be in prison already. Okay? So now let me go to the topic of our session. I'm sorry, I'm just so agitated talking about mga sekretero. Okay, so as mentioned by Kevin today, there's what you call the constitutional mandate an institutional mandate that we have to do as far as OFWs are concerned. Every Filipino citizen has a right to medical care. When it comes to the institutional mandate, the DSWD, the Office of the Social Welfare Attaché, and the Philippine Consulate General in Jeddah, we are faced with so many challenges. On the ground, binanggit ni Benny kanina yung ibang challenges, and foremost of those challenges is chronic recurring shortage of manpower. That's the number one challenge. Napakadaming bright boys and girls dito sa ating community. Bakit hindi nyo kayo magpadala ng tao? Kulang pala kayo. Why don't you send more people? You're talking about 218,000 Filipinos in the western region of Saudi Arabia. You only have how many Philippine consulate personnel? And therefore you have a ratio of 1 consulate personnel as against 31,000 Filipinos. That's the ratio. So you will not wonder if somehow medyo namabagalan kayo because that's how difficult it is. One officer of the consulate is serving 31,000. That's the ratio. So mga maraming Bible, they say, oh, simple ang solution, pare ko. Magpadala ka ng tao dito. 100, 200 so that you can service easily these 218,000 Filipinos under your jurisdiction. My answer is, you're wrong. It's not as simple as 1, 2, 3. Because you're talking budget. And you know how budgetary system works in the Philippines. For next year's budget, you already proposed it this year. Ganun po. And the Philippine government, the national administration has to take into consideration the other departments of the Philippine government. Hindi lang po DFA. Hindi lang DOLE. Maraming nagkahati-hati sa kaban ng bayan. So before you can deploy more personnel to the Philippine Consulate in Jeddah, you need more budget. But because the Philippine government does not have limitless resources, hindi niya kayang tustusan lahat ng pangangailangan ng ating Philippine Consulate, ng DSWD, ng DOLE, ng POLO. Maraming kakulangan. So these are the challenges sa aming level. What is the reality on the ground? This is where you come in. The reality on the ground is we have thousands of Filipinos in Saudi Arabia who are going through so many challenges in their lives. The psychological distress, the emotional distress actually does not happen here in Saudi Arabia. It begins even before they leave the Philippines. It begins when they start talking about with their families whether or not they should go to Saudi Arabia to work. The psychological turmoil begins when they begin thinking about having to be separated from their families for years on end because they have to work here to earn a living to support their loved ones back home. Doon pa lang nagsisimula na po yung psychological distress. Hindi lang nangyayari yan nung nagkaroon ng COVID-19. I know that because I have 3 family members who were OFWs like you. And I know that they went through so many challenges and trials also in their lives as OFWs. Napakadami yan. Psychological, emotional, physical, financial, and so many things. Back then, walang mga ganito. Back then, walang mga Facebook. Back then, walang mga internet. May mga voice recorder. That you have to wait for months on end bago dumating sa Manila para mapakinggan ng asawa mo yung boses ng asawa na nasa Aljubil. Hindi ba? Ang hirap nun. Back then, you have to line up at the RCPI or PLDT para hintayin mo yung tawag ng asawa mo bago makausap. Napakahirap nun. In other words, compared with OFWs in the past and your craft, you are far luckier than they are. Because you have all the technological tools and advantages to immediately connect with your loved ones wherever they are in the world. But despite all these technological advantages that we have, meron pa rin mga psychological distress na ina-experience ang ating mga kababayan. this is where you come in, because the reality on the ground is that there are so many OFWs with emotional problems, with psychological problems, and the office of Ms. Ida Oiden can hardly cope with the challenges. The office of the Philippine Consul General can hardly cope with all these challenges. Why? Kasi po kami, although kami ay naatasan ng Consul General, si Ms. Ida Oiden ay naatasan ng Social Welfare Attaché. In truth and in fact, on the ground, kami ay hindi lang Consul General, kami ay counselor, kami ay pare, kami ay pulis, kami ay nanay, kami ay tatay, we perform so many roles in dealing with Filipinos who come to us for assistance. We have multidisciplinary roles at post. Kaya napakahirap ang aming
Iyan
role.
po si Conjen
That is why
nagsasalita.
Ms. Ida Oiden
Si
thought of
Conjen,
this very brilliant
Consul
idea.
General Ed
Given the
Badajoz
reality on the ground,
ng Consulate.
given the challenges that she is facing, why don't we do this? Why don't we tap? Therefore, Filipino community leaders who could serve as our extension in providing psychological counseling to Filipinos who are going through difficult moments in their lives. Psychological distress is one of the top killers not just in Saudi Arabia, but in many parts of the world, especially in the US. Kaya po napakataas ang sales ng mga painkiller, ng mga depressants, ng mga stimulants. Kasi po yan ngayon ang pangangailangan ng marami, especially among the youth. Because the youth now, they just run to the computer if they have problems. They don't talk to parents anymore, hindi ba? Tayo dito, if you are an HSW, who do you talk to? Wala din. You are inside the home of your employer. You cannot talk to anyone because you're not in Manila. Wala kang mapupuntahan na sari-sari store para makichismis. Wala kang mapapanood na dalisay si Katik. Wala kang mapapanood na wawawi. Wala kang outlet. So you internalize everything until you explode. Until you say, I will now end my life. I will now drink Clorox because I cannot talk to anyone anymore. That is where you come in. You need to reach out to Filipinos in this situation. You need to provide them emotional counseling. You need to assure them that there's hope in life despite all the challenges that they are facing. That is why I fully agree with Kaveri when he said, by taking on this role of a counselor to help Ms. Aine Oiden, you're practically holding in your hands the destiny, the life of your fellow Filipino. Because if you fail to provide the right advice, diba kinabukasan, uminom na ng Clorox yung kausap mo. Psychological distress really is a very difficult issue and problem to deal with because you do not see it. Something is happening internally in the other person you're talking to, but you don't see it. Diba? Unlike physical manifestations of some diseases, kapag may diabetes yan, nakikita mo may lesion siguro. Kapag may physical injuries, kita mo may swabs yan. Diba? Aksidente, pilay yan. But mental distress is an entirely different animal. You don't know what is going on in the mind of somebody who is going through severe emotional and psychological distress. That is your challenge. To try to really go inside the mind, to understand the emotional turmoil of the person you're talking to, so that you can give the right advice. Kapag hindi mo naintindihan yung problema niya, you might be giving the wrong advice. And before you know it, yung kasama mo, yung itinutulungan mo, umiinom na ng medical na marami. Walang kortal. Nag-overdose na. Right? Very difficult. And that is why, looking at you today, I really commend and salute you for your courage, for your bravery, for accepting this role. It's not easy. I know that you are here uncompensated. It's a purely volunteer work, and yet you accepted it because you know what it is to be an OFW. Because you are an OFW yourself, and therefore you're going through the same emotional, psychological, and physical challenges that many of our kababayans are going through. You need help also as much as they do. But you are in a better position because you're here. But what about the hundreds of thousands of HSWs na hindi man lang nakatapos ng elementarya? And then suddenly, nasa Saudi Arabia na siya nagtatrabaho. Right? Karamihan galing sa Mindanao. Hindi man lang nakalabas ng bansa in their life. And then suddenly, nandito na sa Saudi Arabia working for a Saudi family na iba ang kultura. The Saudi family who sleeps at 12 midnight or 1 a.m. A Saudi family that eats only twice a day. Eh tayo, kumakain tayo 6 times a day. We cannot survive without a television. Diba? We cannot survive without a mobile phone. Dito, limited ang access lang yan unless you find a very kind employer. And if you find an employer lucky, you thank God and your agency. But what if you don't find those portions in life? That's where you need people like you. You are the intercessors, critical intermediaries, maybe between life and death. Kaya ako saludo sa inyo. And I commend Ms. Ana Waidan for thinking of this project. Napakaganda po ang ginawa niyo. And this is a very historic event and I'm very proud to be here, to be part of this event. And I congratulate OCL for partnering with you. Dahil sa ginawa ng OCL, nakikita ko talaga ang dedication, ang kanyang determination to really be of service to the Filipino community in Saudi Arabia, especially to those who are in distress. So, yun lang po. At ako ay talagang nagagalak na nandito ko ngayon. Never mind that you're just few. Sabi nga ng marami, you are chosen because the chosen few are the best of the best in our community. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that very inspiring message. It's reality. Sir, meron lang akong clarification. Pwede ba ilagay sa announcement mo yung mga hindi naman OFW na nag-apply ng Dolly ACAP? Just, that's aside from our program. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, to give us the overview of the activity, we would like to call upon Ms. Ana Oilem, Social Welfare Attaché.
Okay. So first, I'd like to thank everyone again for being here. I know that you had prepared yourself for the whole full day activity. It's a back-to-back consultation meeting, and we have lined up 3 activities for today to address several challenges like the need to provide stress management for you because you have worked for a long time. And during the COVID pandemic lockdown, medyo hiwa-hiwalay tayo. We have recognized that we are doing the same thing but never had been a time na nagpupo tayo together to talk our experiences in helping our fellow distressed overseas Filipinos. And I really thank Conjan for affirming us and this activity today because of the common desire to help the most vulnerable of OF in distress. So, this is the content of our activity, okay, we wanted to cover three things. Okay, one, we want you to undergo the stress management session, and then to be able to have basic understanding, refresher for some, but for others, it's really going to be an initial training on the psychological first aid and psychosocial processing. The PFA is a 4-day topic, so this is just a mere introduction of the course. Actually, we hope that in the future we will have real time to do the training. So, it's expecting you to have at least a basic appreciation on the whole topics. And then we want everyone to actively participate. As we see, we will be peer counselors in the future. And with your participation, we know that we can do the whole full day activity. So for the topics and sessions, we have finished the preliminaries, and then we have received the guides on what we are going to do, where to focus in terms of this kind of work. And the next thing is for us to be introducing. But I'm freeze tayo. We have to know each other better. I know that all of us know each other already, work with each other, but maybe we wanted to meet you, know each other in a deeper way, and as potential counselor. You have expressed already, I know it's not going to be a question of whether I want to be a PSP support team, because we were able to evolve already in 2 processes. So we just want to deepen the desire to be a PSP team member. And then we will provide you with the PSWD programs and services, but focusing on the work of the social welfare attaches. No? And then we will have a sharing of experiences in providing, because we want to level off, okay, on where we are in terms of helping. Ito bang ginagawa ko ay basic immediate needs lang, nagbibigay lang ako ng pagkain, or nagbibigay lang ako ng assistance, medical, gamot. But am I doing something deeper that really touches on the psychosocial aspects of the persons that we help? No? And we will break with that at 12 o'clock. And then in the afternoon, we will have the 2 topics, understanding stress and stress management, and the second topic will be the psychological first aid, psychosocial support, and focusing on you as the frontline service provider, hindi pa yung mga client that we are helping, because nagle-level off pa tayo. Slowly, we are going to proceed there, pero sa ngayon, tayo muna, each other, no? And then, we will have a role play, just to check if we have learned something. And then, we will have workshop on the needs of OS in distress, and connecting the processing, the need to process the FA full vulnerable cases, because this will be the basis of what we're going to do in the future. So, maybe, yung workshop natin mag-i-evolve. Sino ba talaga yung vulnerable OF in distress? In our work, we have heard a lot, no? May mga talagang victims of contract violations, but there are more vulnerable cases in terms of abuse, rape cases, maltreated, and we have cases of, we hear trafficking cases in maybe limited, but we have heard of it, and so many family problems, child abuse, abandoned children, so the youth, no, that are in need of abandoned or neglected, okay? So, all of this, we will try to look and just to find the common view and perspectives, and where are we going to start? Where are we going to put our strengths together as psychosocial support team? That will determine the training that we will be needing in the future. Okay, baka magaling na tayo sa isang area and then we can shorten the steps of the training and we can support, no? Hopefully, those needs that you wanted to do as a potential PSP support team. Okay? So that's just it. We will have an action planning. It will be just a brief, if we can also, I will try to provide the psychosocial support and counseling distinction because these things are interrelated but maybe different really in terms of application if we have the time. Okay? And then hopefully we will be able to cover everything and end at 6 or 7 o'clock. Okay? Medyo mahirap because it's a stress management but there would be some inputs and mahirap gawin yung activity natin but I know that it's doable with your willingness. Okay? So, dyan na po ang ating in-capsule, what we wanted to do. And we will now proceed to Ms. Maui for the unfreezing exercises. Okay, so Ms. Maui, take it away. We need to be energized.
Okay. Alika dito, partner. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our first meeting with the core group of our upcoming, what do you call this, program with the DSWD, with the partnership of OCL officers. Please come over, Miss. Okay, thank you so much, Conjen, for coming and for addressing our workshop.
May dance pa sila eh.
And
Baka magsaya si Conjen, wag na.
Thank you for waking up so early.
Thank you, Conjen.
Good job. Thank you.
Mag-usap-usap tayo, ayaw nyo.
Bakit may maganda rito? Hindi kita nakilala ni Kitty. Sa OFW.
Bakit hindi na ngayon?
Welcome, Miss Glenda.
Wala ka sa akin, nag-election na ako. Wala ka internet eh. Hindi talaga kayo nag-good morning ako doon sa adults natin. Hindi ko binasa.
Hindi nga pala binasa yun.
Tapos ngayon, nagtaka ako. Tumawag, nasa kalagitnaan na kami. Kaya ideal political leader lang naman kami. Nasa kalagitnaan na kami. Ini-schedule ko ba lang sila groups by groups? Wala ka naman si Maki. Buti na lang ang ko volunteer ko. Eh, sabi ko, mag-lecture na lang kahit kita.
Sabi ko nga, hindi na ako ayaw, nagkakamag kami lang, tayo kasi pag-graduation na kami lang. Oo, decide na ako sa sabi naman ako doon. Natapat talaga, saan nung nag-uusap ko na tayo about meeting the way na ako nagtuturo. Ito nga pala, sabi nila. Ako yung nagtuturo ng mga major subjects kasi dalawang batches ang kumagana kasi. Ay, ngayon, sinong pinaano mo? Ay, nag-volunteer naman. Dalawang yung mas magaling siya yung kasi dapat yung kasama ko niya. Hindi ka muna pwede nag-start ka na lang kasi wala ka yung kape ka doon. Nagkape ka naman ba?
Tapos na ako.
Coffee time. Break time mo na coffee. Coffee time mo na.
here, you bring all materials here to the transport now. Akala. 3 boxes, ha? I counted 3 boxes. Yan, yun ang close in. Just like now, that will go balay. Also, but they finish it. Yes, the chic also going. So you can have that very much. You can do that by only you. You have to really safely.
Nasaan na lahat kayo? Nag-aalis na.
I will kill you. I will not give you extra money. Okay? Once you speak tomorrow, I will have the overtime. I will give additional overtime.
Bawal mo babae dito.
Ganyan na yung ano na ito. Plus 5 hours pa siya. 13 hours siya na yun. Ganun na.
Coffee time.
Kaya kailangan ano tayo.
Baseball bat and volleyball kit. Ganun ka lang.
Kaya isa rin, hindi naman na sa ganun. Kaya mag-retire tayo. 6.5.
Bro,
Ano bro?
ha?
Hindi
Ali. Talaga. Whatever, basta na rin susuportahan namin. Just, ako naman, nangyayari.
Actually, I used 5 kilos during the pandemic.
Hindi na hindi okay yun. Hindi ako sa... Narinig naman ang sigarilyo. Oo nga eh, parang nangyayari.
Sila natin na pang ano, nasaway sa COVID.
Sa mga gym na napag-utat ko sige na kahit mabawasan. Ay, workout. Diba, si, ano, sa ibang suwi ba si Yer? Responded rin namin sa sino kinikilig? Ano din yung biktima doon sa
Thanks God, we're still alive. Sis Maui, mas better doon tayo para faster. Okay naman.
Ano lang meron tayo kunti-kunti lang naman.
Exercise sa...
Siguro yung sanay ng buho.
Malagay ba? Hindi pa siya nakilala.
Hello.
She looks decent.
Yan.
Ano ako,
put to your places habang kumakain.
Sa ano ha, don't get me wrong. Kasi kung may mga picture here, no? Ang mga COVID may food is here.
Sino kaya yung ano? Naiwan-ikot yung ano? Mayroon kaya siyang ano ngayon, mga Zoom meeting, wala siyang ano? Tawagan ko siya. Tawagan ko si Mansur.
Yung palang Ramadan niya, walang age. Ramadan.
Yes, Ramadan, slang. Slang kasi yun.
Ramadan?
Just delete the A. Instead of Ramadan, Ramadan. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Tapos ilagay mo, tapos
So that you could get
letter O,
Then sa front.
2, 3, 4, 5.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Kaya hindi kayo makakonect.
Hindi ba lang kami makakunik kanina? Ay,
Hindi ang pronunciation kasi
Mark.
ng Ramadan. Pero ang ano niya, pagkaharap na Ramadan.
So, kasi mayroon siyang Zoom meeting mamaya, kailangan niyo. Paano kung wala yung ano? Yung aircon?
Ano ba nga nung wala nang lumalabas eh.
Armada. Armada, tapos 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hindi, ano.
Yes. Ito, subukan ko si Rumi. May pumasok sa inyo. Pasukin na si Binigay yung tatlo. Ayan, meeting din. Tapos Mada. Ayan, Ramda ba? Yosef. Ramda. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Balik naman siya. Invalid naman siya, ano? It's wrong. Invalid password.
Ako naman, nakakausap. Hindi mo makagamit ng net mo.
Wala naman dito password. Invalid. Sinong nakapasok sa inyo sa ano? Sa kanilang pasok mo?
Dito nga kami sa loob eh. Tanong.
Yun lang.
Okay na po. Sorry po. Nadala kami ng aming face analysis.
Invalid naman po, ma'am.
Ha?
Ano kanilang password? Ano na tayo, freezing na kasi may production na tayo. Kaya nga eh. Ano, tinanong mo kung ano yung password, tama ba? Mali, ayaw pumasok.
Okay. Everybody stand up.
Yes.
Stand up na kami.
Yan, kailangan natin.
At kailangan muna nating pasiglahin ang ating ang ating katawan bago tayo pumunta sa pinaka-importanting dahilan kung bakit tayo nandito ngayon sa pagpupulong na ito. Okay, remove your mask para maka-breathe ng maayos. Kasi when we are moving, we are not allowed to wear our mask kasi nakakasuffocate siya ng ating breathing. You can go to this space where you can move. Konti lang naman na movement para lang ma-stretch yung ating mga muscles. Marks, mamaya na dito ka kumain para lalo kang gutumin, mas marami kang makain after you exercise. Okay?
Tanggalin mo na lang muna yung mask mo, Mars. Tanggalin lang muna yung mask. Okay, move. Backward. Move the arms sideward. 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Round it forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wala bang music si Smap? Ay, sure.
Mama Muda.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Up! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And the up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just normal. Get out from your place. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like that. 2, 3, okay.
Maglayo nga ako sa
3, 2, and 1. Take your feet. Up. Come on. Again.
Reach your hands higher. Higher. Wiggle your belly. Come on. Move. Para walang tulog-tulog. Para absorb.
Higher.
Isang sabi na.
4, 3, 2,
Okay.
up. Go.
Parang kasi wala kang tulog. Mama, wala. Wala.
Go. Last two. One more. Up. Come on. Woo.
Yes, smile.
Shake your leg. Come on. Up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes.
Go.
Nawisan ako.
Bitin. Warm up pa lang yan. Okay. So, that's the unfreezing activities now. What will be the next?
Expectation check.
Okay. Meron na. May naman.
Alright, thank you very much for that very interesting dance. Hindi na ako nakasayaw kasi ako nag-document. Alright, let us have Miss Anna Oiden for expectation check.
Okay, so we're distributing the meta cards for you to put your expectations. Ano ba yung expectations natin when it comes to activities? So, dalawang bagay yun. Meeting back-to-back yung consultation meeting natin, tsaka yung training, di ba? Na ang tatlong topic. So, bahala na kayo. I just want it to be very, very light, kahit Tagalog, kahit simple lang. Ano yung unang naiisip nyo na gusto nyo mangyari sa loob ng buong araw? Pwede nyong isabihin sa pamamagitan ng expectation dito sa activity based on yung title natin, yung mga usapan natin before, yung content, yung sa topic, no? Pwede rin dun sa facilitators o sa resource person, sa oras. Okay, so lahat na, anything, ilalagay nyo dito pagkatapos. We will give you mga 3 minutes to do that. Kahit 3, okay lang. Basta ilagay natin dito at titingnan natin kung ano yung expectation ng lahat. Ako naman on my part, I will try to see kung ano yung pwede natin gawin at hindi, at pwedeng kayang ibigay at hindi, given this one-day activity. Ay, pwede rin. Kaya pag nasa RP kasi, ano lang ha, may disclaimer lang ako. Yung ating preparation was very brief, no? Usually a training would have 6 months pre-planning and preparation. But this is a 3-day activity conducted also. Okay.
Okay, so after you write down your expectations for today, you just bring your, Ms. Maui will collect all those expectations written by you. Alright, we would like to have an introduction from everyone. You introduce yourself and self-introduction, and you tell us brief about you, about your experience. Right, ma'am? Ano pa nilang experiences nila? About...
anything that they want to share about themselves.
Yes.
Psychosocial yung ating ginagawa ngayon. Kasi ako si Ana, stress ako.
Okay, so
Anything that you
it's
can
like you will be given 3 minutes or 3 to 5 minutes each. So just prepare your thoughts. How do you explain yourself? Alright? So you have 2 minutes to finish your homework, seat work rather.
Hindi pwede. Bawal po. Kasi ano to, any.
Bawal ba? Patayin ko? Patayin natin.
Baka nakaano lang, nakalo. Parang palumalang pan lang nga. Walang ano. Pan lang doon.